The fake Bhutanese refugee scandal continues to grip the nation with almost a new development since the police investigation into the scam began. Nepal police have managed to buy 3 more days from the government attorney to prepare charge sheet against the 32 alleged culprits, 16 of them in the police custody while the remaining still at large. The 3-day extension is a positive for Nepal police who want more time for investigation, while the same might not be true on behalf of the government attorney who might lack adequate time to study the charge sheet. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Discussions on the government's programs and policies enter day 2. The main opposition in the mood to flay the government blueprint even as ruling lawmakers adopt a defensive policy. Kathmandu District Court allows all the 12 alleged culprits in the fake Bhutanese refugee case for 3 more days in custody. Nepal police to submit the report at the government attorney today. Moscow and Beijing lash out against the G7 summit in Hiroshima, call the group of 7 a hindrance to world peace. And Women's Volleyball Challenge Cup kicks off in Kathmandu. Uzbekistan start the campaign with a commanding 3-0 victory over Sri Lanka. The Kathmandu District Court has given permission to remand all the 12 alleged culprits in the fake Bhutanese refugee case in police custody for 3 more days. It has been 58 days since the investigation started on 25th of March. As per the legal provision of keeping the arrested in custody for up to 60 days in the case of organized crime, the police requested the District Court Kathmandu to provide 3 more days of custody. Now the case has to be filed at the court through the district government attorney office within 3 days. Although the police made efforts to turn in to the district government attorney office the investigation report along with suggestions to file cases against a total of 32 individuals, including 16 who have been arrested and another 16 who are absconding for violating 6 different laws, the police failed to do so as they didn't have enough time to prepare the charge sheet. However, the District Government Attorney Office has already taken a few reports for study. The District Government Attorney Office will have to file the prosecution at the District Court by this Wednesday. The police have decided to propose to file cases for organized crime, racketeering, crime against the state, among other violations of law against 5 individuals, including former Deputy Prime Minister Top Bahadur Raimajhi, former Home Minister Balkrishna Khand and Secretary Teknarayan Pandey. The genuine Bhutanese refugees residing in a refugee camp in Jhapa have become agitated after Bhutanese leader Teknath Rijal was arrested due to his involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. The genuine Bhutanese refugees residing at a camp in Beldangi had remained silent amid fear of the racketeers involved in the Bhutanese refugee scam. The Bhutanese refugees have started raising their voices, demanding investigation on a local level, as well as their main leader, Teknath Rijal, was found involved in the case. They have also demanded investigation on former officials of the Camp Operation Committee. The Bhutanese refugees have said that they were compelled to seek refuge in Nepal due to the leaders of Bhutan. They have alleged that leaders and high-level officials have never visited the camp and have not made any effort to address their plight. Meanwhile, it is yet to be seen if their voices will be heard and investigations will be conducted on the camp operators. Discussions on the government's policies and programs for the upcoming fiscal year started at the Parliament from yesterday. Discussions on the policies and programs of the fiscal year 2080-81 started at the House of Representatives from yesterday. Taking part in the discussions, leader of the main opposition and CPN-UML chairperson KP Sharma Oli urged the government to withdraw and rewrite its policies and programs presented at the Parliament last Friday, citing that the country was passing through a difficult phase at the moment. Chairperson Oli claimed that the policies and programs presented by the government did not have a clear target or objective. Oli also demanded for a fair investigation into the fake Bhutanese refugee scam, saying that efforts were being made to, what he said, acquit the guilty and frame the innocent. Meanwhile, the lawmakers of the ruling parties defended the policies and programs. Prior to this, speaking during the 0 hour, parliamentarians had raised the issue of the fake Bhutanese refugee scam, problems of sugarcane farmers, among other issues. On behalf of the government, President Ramchandra Paudel had presented the policies and programs for the upcoming fiscal year at the Parliament on Friday. Speaker Devraj Khimire has informed that 20 lawmakers have registered a proposal to amend the policies and programs. Meanwhile, the discussions on the programs and policies will continue today. We'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. There has been an increasing trend of the depositors' money facing risk at the cooperatives. With the depositors filing complaints against the cooperatives, the government has formed a task force to reform the sector. The Cooperative Monitoring Commission, led by former Justice Gaurik Bahadur Karki, had presented a report in 2014 citing that 130 cooperatives were crisis-ridden. However, the government refrained from launching any probe into these cooperatives. The scenario almost a decade later is that some of these financial institutions have stopped returning the deposits. The depositors who had invested their lifelong saving with hopes of reaping benefit through interest and now face the risk of losing their entire money. The issue has been raised at the Parliament by some of the lawmakers. 12 cooperatives have been called as crisis-ridden by the government with accumulated deposits of 4.25 billion rupees. The Department of Cooperatives has corresponded with the government to list Gautam and Pashupati cooperatives as crisis-ridden. The government has said that it is keeping a close eye on Laliguras, Sumeru, Kantipur, Swarna Lakshmi, Biratnagar's Tulsi and Dharan's Bara cooperatives. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked people in several provinces what should be done to halt the mismanagement seen in cooperatives. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सरकारले सहकारीहरूलाई उत्पादनशील क्षेत्रमा लगानी गर्नको लागि प्रोत्साहन गर्नुपर्दछ। सरकारले अथवा राष्ट्र बैंकले कहाँ लगानी गरेछ के गरेछ त्यो हेरदिए पर व्यथित रोकिन्छ।
विधान भन्दा बाहिर गयो भने संस्था चाहिँ धरापमा जान्छ।
सहकारी सम्बन्धी ऐन कानुनहरूलाई चाहिँ कडाइका साथ कार्यान्वयन गर्नुपर्छ।
यिनीहरूलाई केन त सजाय दिनु पर्ला नि त।
जुन दर्ता भएका छैनन् विशेष ग्रामीण क्षेत्रका तिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ बन्द गराउनुपर्छ।
कारबाही गर्नुपर्छ। जनताहरूको पैसा फिर्ता दिलाउनु पर्यो।
एउटै प्रकृतिका धेरै सहकारी नबनाउने
अनुगमन नै गर्नुपर्छ अनि बल्ल व्यथित रोकिन्छ।
सञ्चालक समितिहरूले अनुगमन गर्ने
पाउनु पर्ने चाहिँ आवश्यक पाउनु पर्छ पीडितले चाहिँ हैन यदि पाएन भने उहाँलाई चाहिँ कडा हुन कडा कारबाही हुनुपर्छ।
The use of contraband drugs in the big cities of the country is becoming all the more challenging. People from different walks of life, including college students to professionals, are seen hooked up in drug abuse in Birganj metropolis. Meanwhile, a group of youths in Parsa have started campaigning to raise general awareness against the ill effects of drug addiction. Chairperson of Paterwa Sugauli Rural Municipality in Parsa and the views expressed by the victims' parents reveal that the situation here is alarming. The increasing number of jail inmates arrested on drug abuse charges also highlights the alarming drug scenario. Drug users can be seen from the border points to the alleys and junctions of Parsa. Considering this, a group of youths has now started visiting different schools and colleges with the objective of raising awareness against drug addiction. The age group between 16 to 40 is mainly indulged in drug addiction. In many cases, the indifferent parents have also resulted in a rise in this social ill. 11 houses and temporary shelters have been destroyed in Swargadwari Municipality 1 of Bhutan after a fire broke out. The District Police Administration Bhutan said that 11 houses and 8 temporary shelters have been destroyed after a fire broke out in Dhaireni Community Forest last night. The ward chairperson of Swargadwari Municipality Ward 5, Gir Bahadur Gharti, said that 3 individuals have been injured while dousing the fire. The forest fire had spread to the village settlement and destroyed properties. The fire has been doused with the efforts of local residents, police and Nepal Army. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what should the government do to safeguard home industries? The options are A. Use domestic produce, B. Grant in raw materials, and C. Industry-friendly policies. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Moscow and Beijing lashed out against the Group of Seven summit in Hiroshima, where leaders of major democracies pledged new measures targeting Russia and spoke in one voice on their growing concerns over China. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov slammed the G7 for indulging in their own greatness with an agenda that aimed to deter Russia and China. Meanwhile, China's foreign ministry accused G7 leaders of hindering international peace and said the group needed to reflect on its behavior and change course. Beijing had made serious remarks to host country Japan and other parties over their decision to smear and attack China, it said. G7 member countries made the group's most detailed articulation of a shared position on China to date, stressing the need to cooperate with the world's second-largest economy, but also to counter its malign practices and coercion in a landmark joint communique. Leaders also pledged new steps to choke off Russia's ability to finance and fuel its war and vowed in a dedicated statement to ramp up coordination on their economic security, a thinly veiled warning from members against what they see as the weaponization of trade from China and also Russia. The G7 agreements follow a hardening of attitudes on China in some European capitals, despite differing views on how to handle relations with a key economic partner deemed by the US as the most serious long-term challenge to the international order. We have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break.
Sports news.
Team Nepal kick off the Kava Women Challenge Cup volley tournament, taking on Kyrgyzstan. The match at Dashat Stadium's covered hall is slated for 4:30 p.m. start. Team Nepal's captain Aruna Shahi has said that the preparations in the lead-up to the tournament have been excellent. The defending champions Nepal are looking for a hat-trick, having won the past two editions of the game. The tournament has kicked off with a match between Sri Lanka and Uzbekistan. The girls from Uzbekistan won the match convincingly as they won in straight sets, 27-25, 25-20, 25-14. Meanwhile, Bangladesh are taking on India in the second match, scheduled to begin from 12 noon. The tournament will officially kick off with a gala opening ceremony at 2:30 p.m. today. This will be followed by Nepal's match against Kyrgyzstan, slated for 4:30 p.m. kickoff. The last match of the opening day is scheduled for 7 p.m. as Maldives take on Kazakhstan. 8 participating nations have been divided into 2 groups as Nepal, Bangladesh, India and Kyrgyzstan comprise Group A, while Uzbekistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives and Kazakhstan are in Group B. Church Boys United are taking on Himalayan Sherpa in today's match under Martyrs Memorial A Division League. The match at Chasal Ground is slated for 3 p.m. kickoff. Church Boys have collected 36 points from 19 matches, and a win today will give them clear 5 points cushion at the top of the league. Himalayan Sherpa are in the 7th position with 25 points. Meanwhile, Friends Club face off 3-1 Army at the same 3 p.m. kickoff time at Anfa Complex Ground. Friends are relegation threatened, while 3-1 Army are in the 6th position. Time now for weather update. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.